What's good, y'all, and welcome to this new video. Today, we shall take a closer look at Arena 3.0. Yes, you heard that correctly. On the Forerunner server, they're currently test running Arena 3.0, which means a new anti-air arena, new AoE arena, new single target arena, new enemies, and also new health/defense values. So yeah, we're gonna go in. For the most part, we're not really going to go in with like a whole lot of a team. It's not gonna be like super crazy team wise, but what we are going to do is definitely compare like the enemy waves and everything against it. The real issue why I can't properly give you like a I guess you could say a true team showcase here. It just really boils down to the fact that yeah, there is no real enemies to face. There is nobody you can really face here on the test server. So yeah, we gotta go with what we have. Let's just keep it simple, and then we'll do a normal round first. Obviously, check out the map and do like a side-by-side comparison of most of the enemies. So this is our first look at Arena 3.0, and what you're gonna notice is already the fact that these tiles are like way further behind, and you now have two instead of a single one, which is, I guess, an interesting choice. Something that obviously falls into mind is if you had a Diao-chan A1, you would be able to reach both of these tiles with her standing right there. But that's just Diao-chan things. Alright, so yeah, we were just gonna let it run, kinda see what we have to deal with wave-wise. And what you're gonna notice is there is no soul cadence anymore. Soul cadence is gone. It's not a race against time anymore. It's about defending all the waves properly. If anybody leaks waves, they are going to go through and then kill the base, but you can see they're oh shit. No, wait, I think that's the wrong take. Let me I think that's just because we're doing defense arena, am I right? Sorgens is probably still there. We'll test it out in a full fight against someone else in the arena. But yeah, I think Sorgens should still be there. You know the reason why I kind of made this call is because I was, I don't know, somewhat hoping for Sorgens to be gone. I'm not quite sure, but I think Arena was a little bit better before he existed, but to be honest, I'm not quite sure, and I can't really say that with any form of significance, you could say. So far, nothing too mind-blowing happening here. I don't know, I feel like the waves seem easier. Oh, and also what you should have noticed is that they all start moving sooner. So all the waves here are starting to move sooner, which diminishes the impact someone like INGRID could have, because INGRID's main selling point was the fact that she was able to kill everybody before your units even had a chance to touch them. But with every wave already moving instantly, instead of having like this waiting period, I think that should also combat INGRID's anti-air dominance. Now this is a little unfortunate, and there's nothing we can do against it. But hey, I guess that's wave 8. Okay, so let's just set these records straight. And then let's see which arena is there currently, and can we test if soul cadence is still there. Anti-air DPS, perfect. So let's just go in with the same team we've made currently, and just to check if soul cadence is still a thing. Soul cadence is still a thing. So much for that. So I guess the first thing we're gonna do now is quickly hop onto global while also being on the TS, and then having a side-by-side comparison of the enemy waves and also their values. So the obvious main difference is the fact that the enemies start going in faster instead of doing this coming out and then waiting and giving someone like an Ingrid or a Praetus a chance to just kill them instantly. So yeah, that should be the first nerf, you could say. And now let's have a head-to-head comparison between the arena waves. And what you can notice is that at least for the first waves, so the ones that just contain the Imagos and the Overlords, it is exactly the same. The only real change comes with the next one. So this is now wave 2, top bottom. Important also, when do I think Arena 3.0 arrives on global? I would say hopefully the March update. Obviously no guarantees, but March update does seem rather realistic. So on the other hand, let's compare a little bit of stats here. What you're gonna notice is these Merkling Menaces versus I think these normal succubuses. You have way lower defense, also way lower magic res, but higher magic res than defense. Speed wise, it's basically the same. HP is also lower, which is quite nice, I guess. Oh, I think we should compare these guys against those. So what you're gonna notice is more defense, less defense, and this is the important part. Damage taken will not exceed 70% of max HP, and also every 3 seconds automatically restores the HP equal to 4%. So these are the old ones, these two. You can see the stats are similar, but there is more focus on, let's say, defense. And then you have this mitigation talent right here. And then now for the last wave of enemies. So now for like the end game waves, or the waves, I think 6, 7, and 8. We have these Deadeye Tyrants, these Egon's Dependents, and these Scully Boys, and then these Eater Peoples. The most important thing you're gonna notice is straight away the defenses. And the defense and magic res is way lower compared to these guys. And also again, once more, these perks, but this time it's mitigation 2, meaning that you can only deal 30% per hit. And then you can only, and that they restore 6% every 3 seconds. And these guys don't have any perks. Speed is slower. Speed is slower though on these two guys. And overall, yeah, I mean, it is a different arena. You have new perks, new waves, new timings. And obviously I can't already give you teams and such. As soon as we get them to global, I'll try my very hardest. Probably I get myself destined. And then we'll try to give you a few competitive teams on how you can take advantage on the swap from Arena 2.0 to Arena 3.0. Alright, once more time for the new AoE DPS arena. Let's see what this arena is all about. Okay, we can already notice the different tiles at the top there. So you can really start making a kill box. So let's just start off with the obvious pick, and it does look like, unless you are someone like Ingrid or Dahlia, you won't be able to reach up over there, right? So it's not going to be like, for example, the same dominance that a Zaras has, but you can see he still shreds, right? But I would say a Dahlia should be able to attack up to there. Same with Ingrid. I don't know how effective Ingrid is going to be here, but I wouldn't think they were going to nerf Ingrid in like her arena, you know? So yeah. Okay, interesting. We can already notice that these guys kind of have something like a shield going on. And also you have these more normal-ish wait times. So far it looks decently enough similar to what we're used to. Just the fact that this is a lot of waves. And then I guess here we're probably just gonna use Boreas, face him downwards so we can see the next ones. So again, just these exploder units with the shield, dealing a bunch of damage if they do explode. So it does look like, if you take a look at our HP, that we might even have a use for a healer, because Boreas is almost dead. Nyx is almost dead. Boreas is now really dead. And it's kind of like a second wave of enemies. Interesting. Obviously the whole HP values and such will be way different in like a true face-off in the arena, but not something I can simulate all that well here. But yeah, this is kind of the way it looks like. It's a lot of explosions. It's a lot of enemies. So it looks like a healer is gonna be favored. You don't have around. You still have the same amount of wave time. You have a different arena layout. And yeah, I think that's mostly it for arena. We'll obviously just quickly go through all the enemies, and then we got ourselves the last arena. Alright people, it's wave 1 of AoE Arena. It's pretty simple. The only difference is same stats, same everything, besides the new arena now has adaptation, where they gain a 40% shield on max HP after spawn, which also again should somewhat mitigate in INGRID. But to be fair, AoE Arena and INGRID being an AoE mage, while also being a single target, but you get what I mean. It seems like a very realistic place for her to be strong, and I wouldn't actually write off Dahlia. I think Dahlia has a lot of potential here with the way the tiles are placed. Next up would be these doggos right here, where they really didn't change all too much. You can see it's kind of like the same thing. It might be a different amount of doggos coming out, but it should be same speed, same armor, same build up. And last wave, the biggest, the baddest, evolved fire rodents, the guys that also explode and probably are the reason why you should consider bringing a healer or a source of healing, like someone like a Volker, who could then provide healing on basic attack, is these exploding fire rodents. And yeah, they have adaptation too. When spawned, they gain a shield equal to 80% of max HP in comparison to nothing before. So that's, I guess, the major difference. So yeah, different map, different playstyle potentially. I think Volker might actually rock, and Dahlia. Volker and Dahlia are kind of like my dark horses, just from like a brief thinking about it. So onto the last arena. Now for the last arena, and once more, please just ignore the team. Focus on what's really mattering. It's just me randomly throwing in a couple units. And yeah, so we have again 2 range tiles up there, which is interesting. These guys do come in pretty fast, but especially... Oh, and you also can't place up here anymore. So the first tile you can place is down here. So let's say someone with a super low cost isn't nearly as important anymore as they were before. So that's interesting. Outside of that, did anything else change majorly? I don't know, hard to say. But yeah, so we have these guys attacking, and we have another wave of more of those people. We're not gonna do a super complicated team, we're just gonna keep it simple. Anything above 50 is going to get healed. Double block is still enough. No, it's more of those big guys. I guess the biggest surprise would be under the stats in gear, but we still run it through to wave, to the highest wave to kind of really see what's going on. So there we have the Somi doing his shield things, which is pretty nice, keeps everybody nice and low. And Waldron also doing his best to regenerate some HP. Obviously we're crushing it. We can't really do too much with Lugaru here. Well, I guess we're just gonna place him, because why not? So far pretty standard, not a lot of enemies. Nothing really happening. I could see someone like a Sargak and such already being useful too, placed there. You again have these AoE wave units starting from wave 6. So also no big changes, no big different perks. Anything else we're going to notice? Maybe wave 8 is different. Maybe wave 8 is different. So it's wave 7. No, I think it's just a lot of these guys. Maybe even the stats are the same. We shall see. Alright, quickfire last arena, single target. Same enemies, same waves. Might not exactly be the same amount of enemies. But outside of that, the only real change is the talent, where DK says basic attack increases the target hero's attack interval by 15% for 6 seconds. Basic attack increases the target hero's attack. So I guess Carrion is increasing their own attack by up to 60%. And then also reduces CC. So reduces all CC effects by 50% except slow. Same goes for this guy. And then here are the last. Alright, so this is the last wave where we have again the same guys, same stats, but they have DK2 where they increase their own attack by 20% for up to 4 times for 80%, where they restore 40% of the damage dealt by the basic attack, and they also reduce all CC effects by 100%, basically making them CC immune, unless you're talking about slow. Slow is still effective. I think these guys have DK1 and control immunity 1, but I think I somehow missed them in the picture and test servers currently down. So that's what we're gonna live with, which means we have to get to kind of our conclusion on Arena 3.0. So not only did they change all 3 arenas, but they also introduced new perks. The stats stayed the same. And yeah, I guess also the mechanics of the arena, the way it works, changed, with enemies starting in earlier, with different layouts. So I would say it's nice, but how big of an impact it has and if anything is really going to come out of it against, let's say, Praetus, Voltron, Ingrid, that remains to be seen. But I hope you like this showcase on Arena 3.0. I'm at least decently hyped, and I think we can look forward to the March update. And for all of those, for those of you still here by this point, let me give you a little hint, and that is tomorrow you're going to be getting a video about Guild Boss 5, or better said, Abyssal 1.